Here's how I think of the stock markets. Like, this is a game of the edges. There is companies management on one side, and then there's business. There's fear and greed. Most people focus on the middle, like the gray, and that includes like analysts, experts, Twitter warriors, research firms like Hindenburg, who do not make decisions, who are just sitting on the sidelines, eating popcorn and booing or cheering. So today I want to talk about a very interesting story. This is going to be extremely helpful for you to make a decision if you're in the stock markets, obviously. Like, if there is extreme panic, if there's extreme fear in the market, what should you be doing in that phase, and how should you avoid making a bad decision? Because like, this is one of my strongest convictions that I've had, and it went very right when the entire country was against it. I'm not just talking about the bears or either side of the stock market, bulls or bear. The entire country was against that stock, that group, and it's Adani. But to give you some context of what was going on, if you guys were following my content, you would have already seen a couple of videos that I'd shared on Adani stocks. But if you guys were not, I'd like to share what I was thinking at that time. And you'd understand better, like, what was I doing at that time? What was I thinking? So let's start.
So guys, Hindenburg report just came out and they've written a lot of bad stuff about Adani stocks. Disclosure, I do not have any investment with Adani stocks. I'm just looking at it as an outsider from the sidelines. Here's my 2 cents. When Hindenburg Research came out with the report, they already had a huge short position. So it is in their vested interest that the stock goes down. They mentioned that Adani stock is overvalued by 85%. Talking about somebody who has already had a huge short position, they want the stock to go down. There's actually no limit to how much a stock can go up or go down. It's based on market. It's not based on any individual or the research firm or anything that they can say. Of course, all of these bad reports are going to affect the stock because they have a credibility of bringing down such companies. I don't know how credible the report is. I don't know, but I would only want to believe any regulator or any authority that say the court order says that they've done all of this. To me, it seems like somebody who has a huge short position and they come out with a negative report because they want the stock price to go down. You can't say how much a stock can go down. It's based on market. Nobody has that much influence on a stock that they can say it's going to go up by this much percent, it's going to go down by this much percent. There are millions of participants in the market. A single research report, a single firm cannot dictate a stock price what the person is. The market can. Nobody has that much influence. And them saying that it should go down by 85%, it's kind of baseless. I wouldn't want to presume, I don't want to believe them. So that's my 2 cents. Here's part.
So yeah, I shared 2 videos on Adani. This is one of them. The basic idea is, like, when the entire country is against a group that has done so much, like they had the biggest green energy project, like the biggest solar project in the world. But then a foreign research firm comes out with a report saying that they did something, and they question the auditors, they question the regulators of the Indian markets, and people still believe the research firms who put out the reports. Like, I still don't understand why. But here's how I think of the stock markets. Like, this is a game of the edges. Like, everything in the stock market, like, there are 2 sides to it. There's no middle. There's no gray. Like, there's buy, there's sell. There's bulls, there's bears. There is companies management on one side, and then there's business. There's fear and greed. Most people focus on the middle, like the gray. And that includes like analysts, experts, Twitter warriors, research firms like Hindenburg, influencers, all of them. Like, most people focus on the middle, like the gray, who do not make decisions, who are just sitting on the sidelines, eating popcorn and booing or cheering. Like, they're not actually on the field playing, but these guys, people who run the business, are actually playing in the field. And we, investors or traders or analysts, like, we're just sitting on the sidelines as spectators. Like, we're just cheering or booing. We're not doing anything else. So to actually believe the people who are in the gray and then making decisions based on them, so it's kind of ludicrous. It's very funny because most of the people are addicted to fear. Like, I believe that people who like shorting, who like tearing down people, they're addicted to fear in the market. Because there's only 2 kind of emotions that run the stock market. There's fear and greed. When there's extreme fear, the stock market crashes. When there's extreme greed, like what we're seeing right now, the stock market goes into euphoric phase. So people who want the stock prices to go down, they're addicted to fear because they can't feel good if the stock is going up. And Hindenburg, like imagine the mindset that the person would be having. Like there are only two ways to make money in the stock market, right? Either you're a bull or you're a bear. On the bull side, you're joining the company's growth. On the bear side, you think that the stock's going to correct. If in a case like, obviously, like I'm not against shorting. Like if the company is doing, like it's overvalued, you can short it. But in this case, this research firm wanted to tear down Adani stocks. They wanted to tear down Adani companies. Now imagine the thought process, like every day you wake up, you want to tear down this company. That's a very bad place to even start with. And then you connect dots, you kind of derive your own narrative on a company and you put out a report and the whole market collapses after that. Like that's a very dangerous game. First of all, that's a very dangerous mindset. And then influencing a lot of people, knowing that you have that power to influence a lot of people. So I think regulators will establish guidelines for such kind of research firms who have strong influence on the market. The learning that I want to share here is like, I don't think that people should believe anyone who says something without facts. If a research firm has done some, like they have a track record of putting out such reports and proving the market right, kudos to them. But it doesn't work like that in every situation, especially against a group that has done a lot of good for the nation. My biggest learning from this was like when you have conviction that is so strong that you're okay to lose in that situation, even if the entire country is against you, like you should still play those odds, because if you are right, then the confidence that you'll gain out of it, like out of this space, like that's unmatchable. Like you cannot believe how strong this conviction was when I shared it in January and February, when nobody was talking about it, when nobody said that this is what the actual thing is established on. This is the actual intent of that research firm. Like you can check the headlines, every media house, every person on Twitter, every person on other social media platforms, they were against Adani as if they have a personal feud against the company. So I really think that people should like internalize this thought, like they should self-reflect and understand if you have some sort of facts, you should, if you have some sort of ideas, you should vet them with facts and not just believe them on the surface level. Now, what happens after this? Obviously, Adani wins the case, then people just forget about it. But what about people who actually lost the money? Hindenburg made a lot of money. We were already shorting and they already were influencing the market. They made a lot of money. This wouldn't affect anything. What we are seeing right now wouldn't affect them. You can laugh about it. People are like making jokes on Hindenburg like they went wrong. But they might be just sitting, watching the news, and they might be thinking, oh, we went wrong, but we still made money. So it's something that should be debated on. I think that a lot of retail investors, a lot of innocent retailers who are actually trying to join Adani groups had invested in those companies who wanted to be a part of this growth phase, and they lost a lot of money. So that's something that I still try to understand, like what would happen to them. But this is a sad phase for them. And I really hope that we come up with a solution for them. So the lesson that I wanted to share is like when you have a strong conviction like that, you should believe the thesis and you should look at the mindset, look at the intent of the management, and they look at the intent of the person talking bad about that company. Because it's not too complicated to understand mindset of a person if they are running a narrative that is against the market. So I hope you found this useful. I hope this brings you some value and use it in future investments.